I'm Branden Sewell, owner of Seal Pro Painting in Central Florida and the host of the Off the Ladder podcast. We exist to help home service business owners learn so that they can lead well and ultimately live life off of the ladder. I'm excited about today's guest. He's from a different industry. He's from the HVAC industry. His name is Andy Hobaica. He does sales, or also known as a comfort advisor, at Hobaica Services in Arizona. Andy is known to be in the top 1% of sales guys in the HVAC industry. So he's crushing it. So we have him on here today to help share how we can get better with sales and, really grow in that area of our businesses. So welcome to the podcast.
I appreciate that, Brandon. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Well, I found you through Instagram and was just I saw some of the reels that you were putting out and the things that you were doing and saying, and I was like, man, I want to get this guy on here, talk about sales, and we had briefly talked about your daily routine, and I know for myself, one of the things that helps me to get better in my business is having a very like strict and structured routine for my day. Like I wake up at 4, I read from 4 to 4:30, 4:45 sometimes, and then I go to the gym from 5 to 6. And I know you mentioned you go to the gym early too, right?
Oh yeah, bro. Every single day. So, did I tell you about the Miracle Morning?
No, I didn't hear about that.
So there's a book called The Miracle Morning. It's a really good book. I forget the author's name. I feel like a little bit of a jackass right now, but basically look it up. There's a really good audio book, but The Miracle Morning. I took it and I basically made it my own, like you do in a lot of things. And The Miracle Morning is all about waking up and doing the right things in the morning to get you awake. So I tweaked it
Hmm.
a little bit, and this is what I do. Basically, my alarm goes off, and number one thing for the listeners to take advantage of here is put your phone or your alarm clock away from your bed. I put it on my dresser, which is about 20 feet away from my bed. I have a big master bedroom, and it's away. You can put it on your your counter in your bathroom, basically, so you can hear it. But you want it further enough, you have to actually walk over and do it. So your alarm goes off. One thing, you don't want to wake up your wife or your spouse, your significant other. So you get out of bed really quickly to go turn it off. Turn it off.
Hmm.
As soon as you hit snooze or off, have a 32-ounce glass of water right next to your phone. Down the water. Now, the reason why you're most likely tired is because you're dehydrated. You haven't drank water for 6 to 8 hours.
Hmm.
A lot of the time you're tired for that reason. That's just the chemical known fact is you're dehydrated. As soon as I drink that water, I tell myself, okay, now I have to go into my bathroom and brush my teeth. I go brush my teeth, wash my face with some cold water, and I'll tell you right now, you do the water, brush your teeth, wash your face with some cold water, you're not going back to bed. Go try. It won't happen. You'll lay in bed for an hour and it'll be a waste of time. So now you got your blood flowing, you're good to go, you're hydrated a little bit. Let's go downstairs. So I go downstairs, get ready for the gym, get dressed, do a little meditation sometimes. Sometimes I'll go outside if it's not 34 degrees like it is this morning, and I'll play fetch with my dogs. I got a German Shepherd and a boxer, and they love to run. I got a good sized backyard. I'll play fetch with them for about 5-10 minutes. I'll go inside and I'll usually drink some pre-workout. So not too much caffeine, maybe 50 to 100 milligrams of caffeine, L-arginine, L-theanine, something not with the high stim pre-workouts, but something with a lower stim, to where just a little bit of caffeine gets you ready, blood flowing for the morning. Do a little bit of stretching, and then to be honest, man, I'm lucky. About 3 minutes from my house, I have the newest Lifetime Fitness in Arizona, and it's
Nice.
right down the street from my house. Really nice gym, more of an upscale like fitness center slash like country club. So you go inside,
Hmm.
and whether I do it before I leave or I go to the gym and do it right before my workout, I do a cold plunge for 3 to 5 minutes. And
Nice.
cold plunge is going to be at your 38 to 42 degree weather or temperature, and I'll do it for 3 5 minutes. And I'll tell you right now, if you can do anything after that, you're going to be the most motivated when you're done. As well as I do. Dopamine,
Sure.
serotonin rush to your brain, and then like we said, I get a good workout in. I meet a couple buddies there. My buddy Branden, I meet there every single morning. Make sure I stay on my game to where if I didn't show up, he'll text me like, "Where you at?" Talking
Yeah.
crap. So do that. Get a workout every single day, and then I'll finish it off with another cold plunge in the sauna or a steam room, depending on what time I have, and then I'll basically leave from there. Now, if I'm not rushed, but if I have something going on like a podcast, I'll just go straight to the gym, straight to work, and get my day started like I'm at my office now. But if not, if my normal first sales call is at 8 a.m., what I'll do is I'll actually go home, get ready, get my lunch ready, say bye to my kids, and then I'll do a reflection on my morning. So I'll sit down at my desk, and this will happen at home, or I just did it at my desk here at work. I'll sit down, I'll write my yearly goals, exactly what I want to accomplish this year, this quarter, everything good to go. And then I'll write down my daily goals. My daily goals could be, I'm going to make 2 of my 3 sales. I'm going to close 2 or 3 of them at least. I'm going to help 5 random people. I'm going to do whatever I got to do for the day. And if you say it to yourself, it's good. But if you write it down and you stare at it, you'll be able to accomplish it that much more, right? It helps out a lot. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I have a couple videos online. People, make fun of me and talk crap about. I'll do my 3 random calls. So I'll open up my phone and I'll find 3 random people that I haven't talked to in 6 months to a year, maybe a little bit longer. And I'll either call or shoot them a text message and say, hey, Branden, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. I hope you're doing great in life. If there's any way I can add value to your life, let me know. I'd love to help you. Hope you have a badass day, period. You don't know what that relationship's going to do. Whether the person's going to respond or not, you're probably going to make their morning. They're probably not as happy and alive as you are that morning, as well as you never know what's going to happen. Dude, you could do it today, Branden. Do it tomorrow morning. Try it. A friend you haven't talked to in a year. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, the friend you haven't talked to in a year says, hey, Branden, man, I got this job for you. I got a referral. Someone was talking to me in a group. I instantly thought of you, and sends it over. You have no idea what that's going to happen. That would have never even happened if you wouldn't have recreated that relationship with a simple text or a call. And, it could be even someone that you haven't talked to in 2 years. Maybe they're on the verge of suicide, but no one knows because it's so freaking, hidden in their life to where they get a text from you and their whole mind changes. A stupid text message. Very powerful.
Yeah, that's so good. I've got a buddy of mine. It's like I grew up with him in North Carolina and I live in Florida. And he does that. He'll like just at like the most random times message me and be like, hey man, just checking on you. Hope you're doing well. And it does. It'll give me, it'll be like, man, like it's just nice to know like somebody took the time to just reach out. So I like that. That's really cool. I do that with customers, but I've never done it just kind of like with random people. But I do
Well,
like that.
that's your job, Branden. You have to do that with
Yeah,
customers. So do
right.
I. So do I, right? But doing those little touches with random people, you'll not
Yeah.
only add value to people's lives, you'll add value to your life, and you'll be so much more thankful. And you'll literally think about it and be like, wow, that just made my day. Or the person opened up to you and told you something, man. You're basically like a counselor. You're just trying to help people at the end of the day with everything you do, right?
Yeah, that's good stuff. Now, obviously, we're talking about this because we want to get better at sales. Talk about why having that discipline, routine, and developing yourself is so important and key for how you perform in sales.
Correct. Yeah. So obviously you would agree as well. Getting that big dopamine rush and that workout in the morning is huge because I might drink 50, 60 milligrams of caffeine before my workout, but do a cold plunge, get a workout and get my blood flowing. By the time I get to my first call between 8 and 9 a.m., I'm on a level most people won't get till about 1 o'clock or maybe right before
Right.
lunch, right? To where I'll tell people, like people in my industry, I do a lot of coaching on the side as well. I have a private business, small LLC, where I share my process like I'll do today. It's kind of funny, not to backtrack, but people are like, man, I'll hire you. How much do you charge? I'd love to see your process. I'm like, dude, like you can pay me, but how about you go listen to a podcast? I gave it away for free last week. But it is funny that people like don't want to listen to the obvious. They want to get that one-on-one, but it is what it is. I'll take the money and I love helping people. So kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, so helping sales, right? So doing the little things in the morning, getting alive and awake, the level that I'll get on. So people will say, dude, how do you do the numbers you do? I'll instantly go back to my morning process and I'll say, what do you mean? Like, what'd you sell last year? They're like, I barely broke 2 million. You did like 7. I'm like, well, the thing is, man, what do you do in the morning? What time do you wake up? And I'll shut up and they'll be like, 7. I'm like, okay, cool. What do you eat for breakfast? I'll go through the whole thing. And it's so easy just to pick apart why they're failing at their, at their job, at their life. Maybe they're not being the best husband or wife they can be. They're not closing all the sales. They're not making good relationships. How do you start your day? You're setting yourself for failure or you're setting yourself up for success. And you know as well as I
Right.
do, starting off in the morning when you're working out, getting your blood flowing and you're focused on it, it's really good. As well, you know as well as I do, because you would agree, because you're in good shape. If someone walks up to me, I don't care if they're trying to get business from me, they're trying to become a vendor, maybe they want to become my friend or they want to get into my network because I know a lot of people. I'll be honest, man. If the guy walks up to me or the woman walks up to me and they're 150 pounds overweight, I'm sorry to say, people say don't judge, but I see one thing. I see no dedication. I see no motivation. Because if
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
good.
if you can't be dedicated enough to actually, control what's going in your mouth or actually go into the gym, I'm sorry to say, man, I hate being that, downer guy, but at the end of the day, I don't really want to surround myself with someone that can't control themselves that way or have no dedication.
Yeah, that's so good. And your customers are going to think the same way.
100%.
When you walk in the door and, you present yourself professionally, you obviously
Hmm.
take care of yourself, you show that you have discipline in your personal life.
Hmm.
They see, oh, wow, this is somebody who's not just going to handle me in like a whimsical way. They're going to be disciplined in how they take care of my job and the level of
Hmm.
service that they offer. And that's why it's so important to me. And, you know that. But I get pretty frustrated when I have guys who reach out to me and they want me to help them, and and then I give them my advice like, hey, like this actually, put business aside for a second. Let's talk about your personal life. Let's talk about your personal disciplines, because if your foundations aren't strong, if you're not, you know, having a disciplined routine in the morning, if your marriage isn't good, if you're not taking care of your kids, if your finances are a mess, if all of that is out of whack, it's going to translate into your business, right? So let's get your personal life intact. Let's get a good foundation there. Start a good routine. Go to the gym. Start eating better. Start, working on your marriage if it's not good. Get some counseling there. If you're, struggling to be a good father or parent, we'll start reading some books about parenting. Get around the right people. It's like, get around the people that you want to be like, become that person that you look up to, and that's going to, translate so much into your business, right? So
It's
I
it's
love.
like it's like beating it. It's beating it real quick. Didn't mean to interrupt. I'm a little ADD if you didn't notice. So if I hit something, I know you're running
It's
the
all good.
podcast. I just have to say it. But just like you said just now, I know it's like beating a dead horse. But hey, the top 5 people you hang out with is who you're going to become in 5 years. And people don't really think
Hmm.
about that. Wake up and tell yourself that every day. Do you have someone in your life right now that's really negative or always talking shit about the person that's not in the room or always looking for the negativity out of every situation? You need to exit that person out of your life. I'll tell you right now, when I met my wife and she convinced me to lose half of my loser friends, and I'm sorry to say, it's just people that weren't going anywhere and talking crap all the time, I doubled my income. So people don't really
Nice.
understand to where if you have someone around you, let's say you have 3 friends and they're like hardcore right leaning, like Trumpers. I'm not saying Republican, Democrat, I'm kind of in the middle, but like they're like, like Trump this, Trump that, conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that. You're going to become that person 1000%. Versus the other way, you'll become that person. And people don't realize how important it is when you actually hear stuff coming in and coming out. You'll start doing those things. Maybe start hanging out with people that are a little bit more successful than you, a little bit more motivated. See who you become now. That's what I
Yeah.
always get from that.
Yeah, that's so good. You always want to be challenging yourself. And it's funny. I mean, what's unfortunate is sometimes it's the people that you love the most, the people, friendships that you maybe cherished, and they will speak down and drag you down. You speak positive, you got these big dreams and these visions and things that you want to accomplish. You want to start waking up super early. You want to get disciplined with your diet. You have, all these personal goals and things that you want to achieve. You want to, double your personal income. You want to grow your business. And then it's funny how these people that you are so close to you will be some of the first ones to start speaking down
Mm-hmm.
and negativity into that. And it's really discouraging because it's like you would hope that they would speak life to it, right? And encourage you. And oh man, that's awesome. Get after it. Go for it. I support you.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to help you? But if you're around the wrong people and you have those wrong influences, it's not going to help you. So that's really good. Um, let's go ahead and transition from, obviously the personal development and all of that is really important. Can you talk me through, like at Hobaica Services, what is the, sales process like there? What kind of break it down for
Mm-hmm.
us,
Sure.
um, from like really,
And hey, Brandon, you know as well as I do, every sales process is going to be the same to where I can plug in my sales process to your business as well. It's a sales process. The
right.
product, the product you're selling is the last thing I'm worried about.
Sure, sure. Well, what's the help those who are listening, like, because
Mhm.
the purpose for this podcast, right, is to help guys who are out there in the field working on their
Sure.
business,
Of
right,
course.
and
Yep.
go from a place where they're not out in the field all the time, and actually work on a business, start
Correct.
building it. But in
Yeah,
order to do that, you have to understand sales. You have
you
to
do.
understand how to have like a sales process of like, how do the leads come in? How do you
Yep.
nurture them? How do
Agreed.
you set them? Just kind
Oh
of
yeah.
go through that and like some important key aspects to having that in
I'll
place.
just I'll take 7 years back, right? I was a service technician for my father for 15 years. So I worked in the field, I installed, I worked as a service tech, did all the repairs, all the field supervisor, the whole thing. To where I did want to move into sales or management later on, just because I didn't want to be 60 years old crawling through an attic anymore. And you could be doing anything, man. You could be doing painting, you could be doing driveways, concrete, construction.
Hmm.
Who wants to be 65 years old still doing the hard labor, still coming home, oh
Right.
my God, my body hurts. You don't want that to happen. Sometimes people think they're stuck in that, to where a lot of the time, like
Hmm.
you said, they need to hire and they need to delegate and step away so they can grow the business. And I have a portion in that as well, to where you want to, instead of crawling through an attic, maybe my time is better spent at a networking meeting where I'm going to grab 10 new clients or create new relationships. So I'm a big proponent of BNI, so
Yep.
Business Networking International. I'm friends with the president of Arizona's BNI. It's Nate Dominguez, one of my good buddies. And there's probably, I want to say, 60 to 70 chapters in Arizona. I'm in one of the
Hmm.
biggest ones. It's called Built More Power. We got like 65, 70 people. We meet every single Wednesday. It's powerful, man. If you ever come out to Arizona, I'll bring you as a guest. It's a really good network. Just business owners, business providers, salespeople, people that want to grow, and you're being around those people. Wouldn't you rather be in a meeting like that, creating relationships, than painting a house or crawling through an
Right.
attic running ductwork? So you would rather be. You just have to convince yourself that if you allow someone else to do that work, you can create more work for that person and better life, your life and their life, to where now you can create relationships with those people versus just doing all the hard labor all the time. So what I had to do is I had to transition to where I was recommending repairs versus replace. I had to transition to have someone else do that, and then me go out and educate on replacement of an HVAC system. So we do a lot of that, where I'll have a technician go out to a house, and basically he'll find a compressor that's bad, and it's a 15-year-old system. It's out of warranty. They're going to basically tell the customer, hey, the compressor, it's out of warranty. It's going to be like $5,000. Now, before you do this extremely expensive repair, I would strongly recommend you get one of our comfort advisors out, and that's what we are. A comfort advisor will come out, do a heat load on your home, go through the whole process of educating the homeowner on a good, better, best scenario on what we can do to provide for them for their home, and we can go through that. But basically, process wise, you can take HVAC out of it. How I always start my process, to where all my guys get leads, but I do as well, because I can't sit in an office all day. I'll go crazy. So I go in all my own sales leads, as well as the ones I create, the ones that technicians give, and we have a little system. I'll look at the customer's name. It could literally say Andy Hobaica, and I'm going to say, okay, well, before I go out, I'm going to do a little research on this customer. One, I'm going to look up their house on Google Earth. And second, I'm going to look up their house on Zillow or Redfin. So I'm going to find out the basic square footage of the home, whether the garage is included or not. I'm going to still do a heat load when I get there, but I'm going to find out the basic square footage. I'm going to get basically Google Earth image, if there's gates on the side, if the unit's on the roof, what kind of roof they have, what kind of condition the house is in, where I should park. Basically, you get a lot of information before you go, so you're ready for it. As well, I'll look up that customer on social media. It's a 50-50 chance you'll find them, but I'll tell you right now, if you find them and you can find a commonality before you go to the home, holy crap. I'll use a scenario like I did about a month ago. I looked up a guy, his name was Ted. Won't say his last name, but basically found him online, and I made sure it was him, address. Oh yeah, it all matched up online. This is the guy. And I found out he was a gun guy. That sale was in the bag, bro. We talked about guns for 3 hours and air conditioning for 2 minutes, and it was sold. I actually helped him build an AR-15 when we were done. It's just those funny little things that you can find commonality, or the guy's really into golf and you love golf. Like, come on, bro, it's just gonna help you. A lot of people find it like creepy. Hey, man, you set up an appointment with me. I'm giving you 2 to 3 hours of my life, hoping that you'll buy from me and my company. Now, I'm going to do as much
Yeah.
research as I can so I can make a better relationship out of it. Because I'll tell you right now, Brandon, I can come over to your house and sell you an air conditioner or not sell you an air conditioner. If you decide to be my friend, we'll hang out outside of work. I've taken customers shooting. I've helped customers get their CCWs. I've helped customers get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've helped out customers do so many things because they were real and they really wanted the help, and I was able to be there for them, not just their air conditioning sales guy. So, sorry, getting over a cold, man. Everyone's sick in Arizona right now.
You're good, man.
Basically, you look them up on social media, and then again, like I tell everybody, I don't listen to music in my car anymore. It's all podcasts or audiobooks, right? So if it hits,
that's so good.
it turns on, I'm listening to something positive, maybe something I'm about to use on my call. I don't care if it's a Grant Cardone book, the Bradley Dropping Bombs podcast, something good to basically get you in the mode, get you in a good mood on the way to a call, and maybe be even an audiobook. Now, on the way to my call, right before I turn on the podcast, I'll call my customer. Hey, Branden, it's Andy with Hobaica Services. I'm about 30 minutes out. I'm going to stop at Quick Trip to get some gas. Do you want me to grab anything to drink? Now, hey, Branden, before you say no, I offered to everyone. Most people say no. You might as well take advantage of this. We're going to be together for the next 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to bring an iced tea in. I can bring you one too. What would you like? Now, 50-50 say yes. 50-50 say no. But the ones that say yes, dude, that's so much better of a relationship. But at least you offer. Just offer. It's a little gesture. And at the least, it's going to do nothing for them, and you leave it alone. You shouldn't even ask it. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win. You get to the house, and if you tell them 30 minutes, make sure you're 25 minutes away because you always want to get there early, right? To where if you're really 30, tell them 45. To where I'll get to the neighborhood early. I'll stop down the street from the house. I'll park, and I'll get in the mode. I'll tell myself, all right, Andy, all the bullshit aside, I don't care if you got in a fight with your wife last night or your kids or whatever happened. All bullshit aside, you're going to give 100% to your customer so your company can see it and that, this is what you're known for. It's again why I wear my American flag right here and my 100% pin right here so I can look in the mirror every day. I put these on. I love my country, and I'm going to give 100% no matter what, or I might as well go back to bed. So I tell myself that, and I get into that mode. So I know when I park my truck and I walk up to the door, I'm 100% in on it, and I know I'm going to get that sale. To where knock on the door, Branden answers the door. Hey, Branden, Andy with Hobaica. We just talked on the phone. I got your drink. Hey, bro, is my truck parked in a good spot? I want to make sure on day of install that my truck's not in the way. My installers can park there. That's a good spot. You want to rephrase that you've already gotten the job probably 15 times during your process. So you could literally hey, is my truck parked there? I want to make sure when my guys come to install your new system that they can park there. They're not in the way of your wife in the morning. If we have to get a crane, where should that set up? Okay, I'm going to write that down. When my guys show up, the morning of next Tuesday or whatever, make a joke sometimes and they'll be like, oh yeah, next Tuesday. And then, come in. If you're coming in someone's home, I don't care if it's normal or your shoes are dirty or they're not, or what kind of carpet they have. 1,000% if you're walking into someone's home, put on booties. Even if they say, oh no, don't do that. They're saying no, don't do that because they don't want you to go above and beyond. They don't mind you do, because I would like it if people did it in my house. To where at the end of the day, we have branded booties that says Hobaica Services across them. We got them on Alibaba, bought them in bulk. I can help you out with that. But basically, we put the booties on, and if they say no, you don't have to wear them. Just say, hey, it's company policy. My boss wouldn't be very happy if I didn't wear them. It's normal. And as well, I could step in something, you never know it. And if I put my booties on every time, I'm making sure your floor looks better than when I came here. So you put the booties on, and then I'm all about the relationship, Branden. So if I don't care if you're there to paint a home, spray pest control, insurance, I don't care what you're doing, but if you're in someone's home, spend very little time talking about what you're about to sell them and more time about them and the relationship. So I'll slowly do my process to where hey, Branden, can you please show me to the thermostat and the filter? And for air conditioning, I need to see that. So while we're walking down the hallway, I'm looking for anything and everything I can start a conversation with. And at the end of the day, I'm actually looking to build a relationship with this person. Dude, what if this person owns a business and they're my next boss? I want them to know that I'm a good person. And I see on the wall, oh my God, Disneyland. Branden, you took your kids to Disneyland? Dude, I have little ones. I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm a little bit younger than you, maybe 2 or 3 years, start laughing and say, what did you guys do? What was your favorite thing about this trip? Because I want to make sure my kids can experience that too. Shut up. They'll talk about themselves for the next half an hour. And people like to do what? They like talking about themselves, and they like their first name. One thing I forgot at the front door, make sure you get on a first name basis, but basically you want to become their friend, first name basis, shake hands, whatever you got to do. And then just find commonality, man. You can find commonality with anybody. And if you can't, start building it. So where I'll go over, and if any HVAC people listen to this is a really good one. Go over, turn their thermostat in the on position, or turn their fan on and listen to the filter suck. Most of the time it's restrictive. Most of the time it's because the undersized return or it's a restrictive filter. So Branden, if you're using a 1-inch pleated filter, take it out right now. I mean, go do it when we get off the podcast. I can help you out with a lot with HVAC. I know it better than most. And long story short, you just want to listen and be like, is that a normal noise? That's what you normally hear? Yeah. Take the filter out and look at them and say, I don't hear it anymore. And they'll be like, yeah, it only happens when the filter's in. Well, that noise is actually restriction. The airflow can't get through the filter, and that's what you're hearing. The unit's actually being choked out, and we don't want that. So I'll educate you on that. We'll come up with some options. And then, hey, when's the last time you had your ductwork cleaned? I just want to make sure that we take care of that too. No one offers this in HVAC. I'll take a white rag out of my back pocket and be like, I want to show you a magic trick. Nice and white, clean here. And I'll wipe the inside of the return. And I'll come down and be like, man, look at that. And they'll be like, holy crap, don't show that to my wife. Be like, Branden, don't worry. Part of my process is right after we replace the HVAC system, we get the ductwork cleaned by one of our subcontractors, and we'll get it done right. So you'll start from scratch. No one does this. Even the people that are going to listen to this podcast, they won't implement it because they think it's weird. Well, it's fine, man, because I'll take the job for you. And then at the end of the day, I then talk to them about a walkabout inspection. I say, all right, Branden, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a walkabout inspection throughout your home. So I'm obviously here for the HVAC, but I want to make sure that everything I look at is perfect, because I would hate to leave and know that something bad happened to you or your family that was unsafe and I could have found, because I know homes so well. Is there any rooms or areas of the house or outside you don't want me to go into? And then they'll say no or yes, and they'll tell you what rooms not to go in. Now, a couple of things I'm doing with an HVAC is I'm walking around the house and I'm doing a heat load of the house. So I'm trying to find out how many BTUs it's going to take to cool or heat your home at that time of the year and the maximum load. So if you have, in Arizona, if you have a 1,900 square foot home, you're on the borderline of a 4 and a 5 ton system. Now, depending on what kind of windows you have, what kind of insulation you have in your attic, basically I can tell what size of the system we need to optimize. Because in Arizona, you're going to do the heat load for the size of the system for the hottest day of the year. The rest of the year, you don't need it, but you need it for that week, because if you don't have a big enough system for that week, it'll run continuously and your house will never cool down because it gets so hot here. We had the most consecutive days of 118 ever this last summer. It was like 43 days in a row. So it gets pretty hot. Not as humid as other states, but really hot. To where I'll go through that process, and then at the end of the day, go through, and then I'll say, while I'm on this walkabout inspection, I'll take videos. So you're more than welcome to come with me. Most people don't take you up on it. You're more than welcome to come with me, but I can take videos of everything I find. So I'll go out to the electric panel. I'll go out to the air conditioner on the ground. I'll go in the attic. I'll go in the garage. I'll go everywhere I can, and I'll take small, short videos to where, hey, I might only be out there to replace their air conditioning system or give them a quote, but I'm going to also walk in the garage and show them how their 15-year-old water heater is rusting out. It's about to blow. And hey, Branden, have you ever had a water heater blow in your house? Have you ever seen this happen? Have you ever had to call a restoration company and find that hurt? Because most people are like, oh yeah, the last thing I would want is my house to flood. And be like, your water heater is probably on the verge. Average life of a water heater is about 10 years in Arizona. It's 15. It's out of warranty and it's rusting on the bottom. But don't worry, Branden, because we can add it to our air conditioning system. We can finance it all together. Just bump your payment up a couple dollars, and we can make anything work. And it's all about education. So people are so rushed to get to their product or what they're there for. Spend a tiny bit of time at the end about your product. Spend the most time building their trust, becoming the customer's friend, because people buy from people they like. And that's what you want to become. You want to become a friend of theirs in 3 hours. That's your goal. At the end, if you build a good enough relationship, 95% of the time they'll move forward with you. If they don't move forward with you at the end, they're either the tiny little percentage that will go crazy if they don't get their 3 quotes, or there's something you didn't overcome or you didn't build in your relationship, something you missed. Because even I've left homes to where, like, man, I thought I did really good. And then I'll think back and be like, crap, I didn't go in the attic, or I didn't do this. And that's the reason I'm not going to get the job, to where I do some follow-up and hopefully I can get it before the next guy. But I'll tell you right now, if 3 guys go before me and they don't close, I'm closing the job. They always miss something, or they didn't build that rapport with the customer. Again, I don't want to ramble on, but you can do that in your business as well, man. Just build a customer relationship. Don't get so fast to the quote. I mean, if you go out there to paint a customer's house or spray pest control, it's not that big of a job. You're just going to do the work, and hopefully it turns out. They don't know if you're getting one quote, one coat of paint, or 15. But at the end of the day, what you need to do is stop, slow down, and say, you mind if I come in? I want to show you a couple things and some videos and some stuff, so show you why I'm so much better than my competition. I can talk all day. I can show you a review online, or I can show you my process of why I'm so much better. and spend some time with them in their home. Put some booties on. Do something none of your other competitors are doing. If you want to be different, you got to do different things.
Yeah, that's so good. I want to. You shared a lot of really good points. One of the things that was a big takeaway, and I think this is, it should be pretty commonly known, but you win sales on personal connection, right? It's building that relationship that is going to get you, your foot in the door to land that sale. So I love what you shared there. Spend more time building that rapport. I do the same exact thing. I actually got my start in sales by doing door to door for a roofing, siding, windows, doors company up in Baltimore, Maryland. And, you know, you get rejected a lot of doors slammed in your face. And, but one of the things I would always do as I was walking up to the home, I'm looking at the car, I'm looking for stickers, I'm looking for a flag that, a sports team or
Mm-hmm.
anything that I can make a personal connection. And I was actually very successful with door to door, because that's what I focused on. A lot of guys that I work with, they would try to just right off the bat, just, get their sales pitch out in 30 seconds, and they weren't successful with that. I would
Yep.
go up and I would try to build relationship. Look, you can trust me. I'm just going to have a conversation with you, get you comfortable being with me being there, because I obviously just like disrupted your day, and build that trust first. And then it's like, hey, look, it's great talking to you. Do you mind if I just share with you really quick about why I'm here? And most of the time, the customers would give me that time because I built the trust and the relationship first. Getting them to see like I'm just a everyday ordinary guy, and build that trust and that relationship, and that would get me so far. And then I don't think it's creepy at all. Like I do the same thing. I'll jump on Google, LinkedIn, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll research my customers as well. I'll try to find out as much as I can about them. And that just helps me to serve them better, right? Because I know who they are, I know what they're about.
Hey,
So I
Brandon,
love
you
what you
made a
shared
light
there.
you made a light bulb go off, brother. So about door
Yeah.
to door, I actually just did a meeting, sales training with a solar company, and the solar
Hmm.
company is actually taking a lot of their people, and they're gonna step into the HVAC world. Now it's kind of funny how family works, but my dad's coaching them on business, and I'm coaching them on sales to transition from
Nice.
solar to air conditioning. But it's good. And one of the things I gave one of the guys that asked me a question about door knocking is, I said, dude, add some value, and he's like, I'm not going in the home. How am I going to add value? I went back on what you just said and I said, well, I got something for you. And I just thought about it. Thank you for calling me out on this. You could easily walk up to a home, notice they have gutters on the front. Take a peek over, use your freaking, bring a selfie stick with you and look inside their gutters. The gutters are full of leaves. They haven't cleaned it in 6 months. Walk up. If you get a rejection from the customer's like, no, I'm not interested. All good. You're like, it's all good. I'm just going to give you a flyer. What I would love you to do is when you have time, just look it over. You're going to see why I'm different. My cell phone's on there. I'd love to at least show you how I can save you a lot of money. But you know what? It's all good. I'm the gutter guy. And then just shut up and they'll just look at you like this. Pause, look at them and be like, even though you said no to me, it's all good. The thing I love doing is helping people. So you're good. Go inside. You don't have to read the thing. But you know what? By the time you're done reading my brochure, I'm going to be done cleaning your gutters. I do that for everyone. I just love helping people. Whether they slam the door in your face or not, 50 of those people are going to reach out to you just to give you the respect because you were able to do something that no one else offered. You go up and you give a
Yeah.
stupid little pitch. Dude, I get 8 of those a weekend at my house. And half the time I'll just hear them out because I want to hear them. And then to be 1,000% honest, if I don't feel like it, I just want to answer the door. But at the end of the day, be different than others.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. The other thing I wanted to hit on is what would you say to the person? Because I mean, I hear this from some guys that I know who are in the home service industry. Is it doesn't take all that. Like it's too much. You're doing too much. Like, what would you say to that person who listens to what you're saying and says like it doesn't take all of that?
Show me your numbers.
Right.
I'm not joking. Show me
Yeah.
your numbers. Why am I selling 3 million more than you a year? Oh, it must just be because it's my market. Yeah. Well, in my market, I have I'm part of a group, a sales group, and we're I don't know, there's like 300 of us. I'm number 2 or number 1 every single month, every single year. Now, the guy that's above me, not saying that it's not fair, but I'm going to residential homes, a little bit of businesses, just like 1, 2, 3 units at a time type of thing. This
Hmm.
individual I've known to where he'll do a lot of construction, to where he'll come in and he'll sell an air conditioner to 20 homes. It's a little off there because that's not really sales, but at the end of the day, he does a lot of sales as well. Not talking crap, but I believe that I've looked into my industry. I went to all the meetings, Service Roundtable, Pantheon. I've been to all the conferences. I spoke at all of them. And at the end of the day, I've talked to everyone, and I am in the top 1%. There's only probably 3 to 5 people that sell more than I do every year. But at the end of the day, I'm not selling anything. In fact, I get sales, but I get sales because I create a customer relationship like no other. And anyone that argues with that, I'll just ask them, show me your numbers, because I can prove my numbers right here on Service Titan on my phone right now and show you what I did last month, the month before, my close rate, my average ticket, my exact numbers to the date, exactly what I'm selling. I want to see you do that and show me the proof. And most people will shut up after that because they're like, well, I'm at 1.9. I'm like, cool, dude. I just finished off at 6, and I'm not even done with the year. Like, 6, holy crap, how is that possible? Or maybe you should try something new and stop being a complainer. Or that same person is the people that just roll out of bed at 6:30 and get to their call at 8 o'clock. I'll crush those people all day long. And when I get on a coaching call, I'll ask those people, what do you do in the morning? And they'll say like the basic things. And I'll be like, that's fine, man. So we're going to coach you. You're going to become a better person. But I'll tell you right now, if I end the call right now and I come in right after you, I will destroy you. Destroy you. Why? Because I care about the customer and creating a relationship, and I will build a customer relationship. I will get the sale because the customer's going to fall in love with me and what I'm all about, and I'm going to help them do so many things and help them with the problems that they're having. They will refer me to all their friends and family, and that's how we work on a referral basis.
That's so good, man. Really, really good stuff. So
I get a little, I
another
get
thing,
a little hype, get a little hyper there because people do call me out. They're like, "Oh man, you don't do all that fluff." I'm like, "Fine, don't." Next, I don't really care anymore.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's if you want to get the results, you've got to be able to do what people who are winning are doing. And if you're
Mhm.
not getting the results, like don't complain about it. Another thing that you mentioned is people won't do what you tell them to do. I can't tell like there's actually a podcast that I listen to, Tommy Mello. He's actually there in
Yeah.
Arizona as well. I
Yep.
love
Yep.
one of the things he says
I've
all
met
the
him a few
time.
times. Uh-huh.
He says on his podcast, people will ask him like, "Why are you sharing all these secrets? Why are you telling people, how you've accomplished the success?" And he's like, "Because I could tell people all of this over and over again, and they won't go do it. They won't take action. They won't
100%.
implement it." And
Mhm.
so I think for people who are listening to this, you can get inspired by what Andy's saying today. You can feel that like rush and adrenaline. Of, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna make my business better. But really, where the rubber meets the road is what are you going to do? What
Implementation.
action are you going to take? And that's why I
Mhm.
said I feel like it starts with your personal life. And so if you want to get better with your
Mhm.
sales and have the success that Andy's had, you've got to better yourself because when
Yep.
you get disciplined, then you're going to be able to get disciplined in the other areas of your life, like your business. Um, Talk to me about, obviously the relationships are really important. What kind of things are you guys doing at your business to retain customers, to stay top of
Mm.
mind? Like,
Yeah, of
um,
course.
what
Old
kind
school
of
stuff.
processes do you have? Yeah. What
Yeah.
kind of stuff do you guys do with that?
Mhm. Mailers. So
Okay.
we send out mailers probably, we'll touch a customer probably 45 to 50 times a year. And I don't care if it's a mailer saying happy birthday. So you want to know all your customers' birthdays so you can send a birthday card and maybe a little Starbucks gift card for their birthday every single year. Not enough companies do it. Send the birthday, send the Merry Christmas card, send the Happy Thanksgiving. People send out a little email. You can do that as well. We need to send out an actual card. Now, it's not cheap to do this, but at the end of the day, we're hitting our customers, like I told you, 50 to 60 to 70 times, 75 times a year, to where we're always in front of them, to where when something happens, calling Hobaica. There's not a question because we're in front of them all day long. You'll go to a customer's house and you'll be like, hey, I know you're getting 3 quotes. What number am I? And they're like, well, you're the last one. Be like, you remember the last 2 companies' names? They have no freaking idea who they talk to. They just know the price, and then they can look up the company. Everyone that uses Hobaica for service, for repair, for replacement, you ask them, who you use, they're instantly going to say, oh, we use Hobaica, because we're in front of them all the time. And if you stop using us, you're probably going to get seen 200 times. To where at the end of the day, we're sending the referral cards. We're doing all that kind of stuff to where we'll send little ones with QR codes. Hey, we're doing a new program. If you refer us out, we just started this one. If you refer us out, like let's say you lived here or you had some friends here, and you said, hey, when you're getting quotes on a new air conditioner, have my buddy Andy out. Just have him out, have him part of your quotes. I guarantee you'll pick him. He's different than everybody. And then you refer me and you keep track of that person. If they buy an air conditioner from me, we give you $500, to where we'll have those little things to where like, hey, this year is going to be tough, but how would you like to get rich off of Hobaica referrals? You're helping us. You were going to refer us anyways, but now there's money tied to it, to where I'd love to help you and your family out. To where we'll send flyers out just saying like, hope you have a great day. QR code, take a picture of this, and we got a couple of videos on how to make your house more efficient or how to be a better parent with your air conditioner, and like funny stuff, to where you want to stay on top of mind with social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. And a lot of people will say, stop advertising on Facebook. It's a waste of money and it's an older crowd. We make a ton of money on our Facebook ads. So yeah, it's just staying top of mind no matter what. And that's the same as if you're sending out mailers, you better have billboards throughout the entire valley as well.
Yeah. And so, the reason why I asked that is because when we understand that relationships are fundamental to our businesses, we have to understand that it's not just our most valuable customers are the ones that we already have, right? So staying top of mind with them, even after like an initial service is done, is so important. So always staying in front of them is really important. And I think, I saw that you have a nonprofit, the One Bag at a Time. Um, I want you to talk a little bit about that, but also why and how it affects your business. And I think
100%.
you'll probably end up talking about how it's relational, it's community driven, you're staying top of mind. Just talk about a little bit what you guys do and
Sure.
how that affects your business.
So One Bag at a Time, Phoenix, Arizona is where we started. I started it about 12 years ago, just as a little, helper thing. And I called it One Bag at a Time, helping the homeless one bag at a time. And we would fill little grab bags and pass them out to the homeless. So me and my friends at my house would just start packing stuff where it could be like food, non-perishables, toiletries, anything you want in a little sandwich bag, and we'd staple it. And then anytime you see a homeless person on the street asking for $1, I'd hand them a bag. They'd look at it and they'd say, what's this? Well, open it up. They open it up, instant smile. Holy crap, baby wipes, food. This is amazing. This is so much better than $1. And at the end of the day, when you buy everything in bulk, it costs a couple of dollars to fill the bag, and they're gonna appreciate this stuff so much more. Oh my God, lotion! My hands hurt so bad. Like, it's just the little things to where it started growing, and I started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, hey, BNI, man, I bumped into an individual called Ted Young, one of my best friends now, my financial advisor, and also my VP of One Bag at a Time. I met him in BNI, and he said, hey, dude, that One Bag at a Time you're doing, why aren't you a 501c3? And I'm like, dude, I've tried to get that status so many times. I keep getting declined. Now, first off, I told you I'm a sales guy. I hate paperwork. So I was probably doing something wrong. He got me approved in like 3 months, to where we became a 501c3 about 7 years ago, and we've been going hard ever since. And we're actually almost to the level to where we'll be 100% tax deductible. You can get tax credits right now, like a 501c3, but if you like give to a Catholic school and you get 100% dollar for dollar for your matches, we'll be that in probably the next year. Hopefully, I'm hoping for it, and then we can grow even bigger and better and get a location, the whole 9 yards. But once a month, we go downtown Phoenix, usually at 12th Avenue in Jefferson. If you're in Arizona or you're visiting, just look us up on onebagatatime.org. Contact at onebagatatime.org to get a hold of me, or just look us up on Instagram and Facebook. One Bag at a Time AZ on Instagram, and One Bag at a Time on Facebook. We post all of our events. And I should have said this in the beginning. If you have a question about One Bag at a Time, you want some free advice, or you just want to watch some good content, look me up on Facebook and Instagram, mostly, a little bit of YouTube, but Andy Hobaica everywhere. And I'd love to get you involved. If you're in Arizona, come out to an event. It'll make your day 10 times better. You basically we'll line up 7 or 8 tables. The first 4 tables will be food, non-perishables. Then we'll go toiletries, baby wipes, shampoo, conditioner, shaving cream, all the way down to warm clothing if it's the wintertime, or maybe some shorts or some other shoes and stuff in the summertime, sunscreen, stuff like that. So what you're doing is these people are walking through in a highly populated homeless area. They're walking through the line. They're filling their bag up with stuff. But every time they get to a new station, I have all my volunteers creating smiles. And that's what we call the events, creating smiles on a Sunday, to where you're interacting with these people that most people just ignore. You see a homeless person, you try to run the other way or you roll up your window. But we do the opposite of that. We create a smile and we let them know that we're there for them. Now, on a personal level, I'll be a little, a little greedy here. I love it because it makes my day 10 times better, but also makes my month 10 times better. It also helps me sell more because I'm so grateful that I have such an amazing life. And I keep reminding myself every single month, every single day working on my nonprofit that I have an amazing life. It makes me be such a higher performer at work. Being in sales, to where I'll tell people the two best things you can do: get married to a wife that's going to support you and love you and give you that boost every morning, and have children and a family that'll motivate you to be a better person and work hard for your family. And second, start a nonprofit. And when you start a nonprofit, you will become a better person, you will work harder, and you will appreciate life that much more because, man, I see the lowest of the lowest of the lowest. So a little side
Yeah.
note, I have hired people in the past that I met on the street that cleaned up their life, met them at an event, and a year later they worked for me.
That's amazing. Well, Andy, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you got to go, but I just want to end by saying that, for me, business is about making a positive impact, right? And I know that um, when we have that position that we're there to serve our customers, we're there to serve our community, it's going to help us because we take a selfless approach to it and we're able to help better people's lives. And when we go into these situations like sales and we ask ourselves, how can I serve them better? How can I, meet their needs? That will help you to perform better. And I love what you guys are doing with that nonprofit. It's commendable. It's inspiring, and I wish you, all the success with that. Um, if people want to get in touch with you, I know you mentioned your social media. Is that going to be the best way for people to reach out?
But yeah, best way, it's going to be social media, Instagram and Facebook mostly. Just search Andy Hobaica, AndyHobaica, and you just shoot me a DM. I love conversating with random people, dude. I'm actually friends with a guy named Tyler. I've never met the guy. He heard me on a podcast 7 years ago. We go back and forth every morning, sending each other motivational stuff, and he saw me on a podcast. So you never know who you're going to meet. I could meet up with that guy later in life. He could be a weirdo. He could be a really cool dude. I don't mean Tyler. I like you, but basically. I always like ending it. If you don't mind, say something.
Mhm.
I like ending it with a little bit of motivation. Where if you're going to listen to this podcast, I challenge you to take one or two things and implement it in your life. Because you can talk all day you want, or say you're going to be motivated, say you're going to do something. Unless you implement and take action, it'll never happen. So go out there, implement something that I said. Get back to me. Tell me it worked, didn't work. I'd love to hear your successes and not successes about it. But I hope everyone has a badass day and go out and get it and make someone's life better.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much again, Andy. If you listen to this podcast and you enjoyed it, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a review. That helps us out so much. And also share this episode with somebody else so that they can get better too. Thank you. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Off the Ladder podcast.